broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Oh, the song, we love it. Gets us pumped every time, right?
Love it.
Hey everybody, welcome to Survivor on AfterBuzz TV, the 32nd season, second episode. This craziness that is Survivor continues, brains versus bronze versus beauty. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Paige Bonanno, I'm your host. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Paige Bonanno, and my wonderful co-hosts for the evening are...
Michael Rippey, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mike Rips.
What's up, AfterBuzzers? What's up, Survivors? My name is Jaco Winnings. You can find me all over social media at Jaco Winnings.
Awesome.
Yep.
So we're so excited today. Jaco's new, and we're really excited to have him.
Yeah, excited to be here.
Yeah, I saw some of you guys on the live chat where, asking if James and Suzanne are doing it this season. Unfortunately, they're not. James wanted to focus on Amazing Race because that's his number one love ever, and Susanna's got a busier schedule, so she can't do it. But we have these two amazing hosts, and we're so excited to welcome them to the panel. And it's going to be an amazing season, and we're just so excited. So, should we dive in? What do you guys think?
Let's go ahead first.
Gosh, all right. First of all, I love Survivor so much, but I also hate it at the same time because it stresses me out every single
Especially
week.
tonight.
What did you guys think overall? What were your overall thoughts from tonight?
Well, it was an amazing episode, and also an amazing sabotage job by Jenny.
Yeah.
Right?
Sabotage by Jenny to herself.
Have you ever seen anybody sabotage themselves as clearly as Jenny did?
Yeah,
She
I
went
have,
down in
but
flames.
not like that. Yeah. I can't believe it. What was she even thinking?
That was my overwhelming idea of the episode.
That was it.
Right?
It's craziness, yeah.
But let's start from the top,
Yeah, so we'll dive into Tribal later because we can't wait to talk about that, but we'll start from the top. So right away at the beginning, we get back from the first Tribal, which was Braun again, and so they're kind of coming back. Alicia's like, I'm glad that I'm here, but I'm pissed that everybody's talking crap during Tribal, and it worries me. But then, Jason's like, so now do you trust us? And she's like, yeah, I suppose, but then they kind of say, either way, though, at the end of the day, she's next. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of thinking at the beginning, right away, Alicia's gone. This might be like an Abby Maria from last season. She didn't get voted off first, but then right away, she doesn't get voted off until later and later and later, even though you think she's going to be first.
Right, and they even show Alicia messing up Ember and calling it embryo.
So we see that she's like a nice girl, but she's just not really that smart.
She's not that smart. She's also wondering why they gave her so much sass at the previous tribal council. She's actually wondering why.
Yeah.
She doesn't understand that she didn't contribute at all in the whole challenge.
At all. And she's
the first 3
wondering,
days.
they're talking crap. And it's like, well, yeah, you were going to go home. And so I don't know. So that's what's going on in the Braun tribe right at the beginning of the show.
Also, Jason has a gnarly sunburn, right?
Gnarly sunburn. I love Jason. I know that they were talking about him being annoying, but I think he's great. I think he's hilarious.
I think he's rough around the edge.
Rough around the edge. Do you guys like Jason? Because I feel like a lot of people are having mixed, from what I've seen, a lot of people are having mixed reviews on him.
I want to see a little bit of Jason without Scott as part of it. I feel like Jason and Scott are kind of one person.
Jason and Scott are one?
Yeah, they're everything is them together.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to see them maybe split a little to see really how each of them are as individuals. And I bet some of you out there do as well. And if you do, let us know with the hashtag ABTVSurvivor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ABTV Survivor. Let us know. And also, go on our YouTube, like our page, subscribe, comment, everything, just so we can kind of get an idea of what you guys are thinking and we can answer some of your questions.
Absolutely.
All right.
For Jason, though, something that really counts in his favor is his story. These two girls.
Yeah.
He's got the sensitive side to him, but he's also the tough guy. So he looks like he can play both sides of the field.
Yeah, I agree, because right away you would think that he's just tough and he doesn't have any thing on the inside, but with his
So
daughters,
he's
you really
definitely
can
winning
tell.
over the audience.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be great this season if he doesn't annoy people too much. Well, it was only Jen, but
They have to, if any of them want to be great, they have to stop going to tribal council.
Exactly, because now they have 4 people left and everybody else has 6, and it's just Alicia's obviously not strong.
She's not going to contribute.
So she's
at
not
all.
going to contribute.
No, sorry.
Sorry, no, not going to happen.
Not going to happen ever.
She did make fire.
She did. It took 5 hours though. It took
She
her
did.
5 hours.
5 hours, but everybody
5 hour
else is
energy.
sleeping. 5 hour energy. Everybody
Yeah.
else is sleeping, and she did. I don't think I would have done it for maybe an hour at that, and I'd be like, I'm done. I can't do it. 5 hours, I would have never sat there that long. So I mean, props to her for doing that.
Fair enough. You're on the YouTube chat. We've got Rebecca Wahlberg and Steven Sosa just calling out Jason as one of their favorites.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
No,
pretty
I
cool.
agree. I like Jason. I'm
He
a
got some
fan.
fans. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, we also have that Yaku is a good-looking guy on there.
Oh, we
Hey.
did. Mine haven't refreshed yet.
Anyway, so we'll go from the bronze. Now we're going to hop into the beauties. So we see, of course, what do we see right away? Ty looking for idols again. Seems to be a theme. What do you guys think about Ty looking for the idols? Do you think he's kind of like shooting himself in the foot with that? Or you think it's a good idea?
This time he didn't get caught. So I think that's what
He
we
didn't get
know
caught.
about.
He didn't get caught, and he actually almost caught the idol, right? I mean, it was pretty amazing. He sees the idol, he gets the notes, he finds that it's going to be up a tree.
Yep. He was
says
like a
it's-
little monkey.
Well,
Yeah.
can we just pause on this scene of him in his little undies, tidies, like halfway up the tree
Climbing,
trunk,
aw.
and just
I think he's freaking
priceless.
adorable. But what I did notice was it was a little different. I mean, I feel like every season they get a little more intense, with not just finding the idol, but finding a clue to the idol. But
Yeah.
this time they literally had a clue, then another clue,
Clue to the clue
then
to
a
the-
key that was up on a tree. Like it kept leading and leading and leading. It wasn't just one thing. And I feel like the best person to get that, idol would have been Ty, because I don't know if anybody else could shimmy up that tree like he did.
Caleb is pretty. He can do anything.
I suppose.
I'm worried at this point that Ty may give the idol to Kaleb.
He'd be like,
He's
you're
gonna,
just
he's
beautiful.
gonna need him. He was. They were talking. It looked like he was trying to maybe he should get this guy on his team to help him get it down at least or something.
And well, I guess they don't know this at this point, but we, had heard that,
Yeah.
the idols are going to help in the favor of the whole team sometimes. I mean, maybe not always, but it's not just going to always have to be for one person. So I'm sure he doesn't know this at the point, but maybe once he gets idols, he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Both
We'll
five.
see if we'll see who gets that idol. Because
Yeah.
Ty didn't. He gave up at the point where he went up the tree almost to the point, and he recognized
Yeah.
it was too high. He was worried about his time.
He's
I've
been there for way
here
too long.
I don't know how long it's been. I got to get out of here. So he's just adorable when he talks. I love it.
How long do we think it was? I don't know. But I don't know. Well, I don't think anybody else is going to get that idol because he already has the clues. They don't know where it is.
It's pretty obvious though. Did you guys think that it's stuck on the tree? That just look,
Yeah.
and just look up.
Yeah, didn't he? He didn't notice that at the
Nobody
beginning?
notices that.
Maybe it's something different. I mean, we'll have to see if anyone else goes for an idol in his tribe. Right now, it looks like no one has. At least they haven't shown us.
But I'm
anybody
just
going for
wondering,
it.
are there going to, because Ty's obviously going to keep these clues that he found on him.
Right.
So are there going to be other clues to that same one that someone else on his tribe could find, or is that the one?
No, there's two. There's two idols.
There's 2 idols on the island.
Well, no, because
Two.
each tribe.
Each tribe, two for each tribe.
Yeah, because you can use both idols
And combine.
after your vote was cast. After you already voted out, now you can use the super idol, both of them, to say, sorry guys, I'm actually immune.
Super idol.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So we got 2. So yeah, someone else could potentially find it. But I hope that Ty's going to go back and try to get it.
Oh, he
He definitely
has
will.
to. He has
Episode
to.
1, he went. Episode 2, he went.
Episode 3 is getting it.
3, he's going.
So
He's
3's
going.
going to be no different. Yeah.
He's getting it.
He's getting it for sure. So while we're on the beauty tribe, I think we should just go into a little bit about the Kaleb Ty relationship. This little bromance going on. What do you guys think about it? And comment in the live chat and let us know your thoughts on that
Absolutely.
as well.
That's a budding bromance.
Oh yeah, and the is that they're so different. Like Ty's a gardener, Caleb's a bounty hunter. Like Caleb's this big brawny guy, and Ty's just living off the land, like this cute little man. What do you guys think?
I love it. They're a great comedy duo.
Yeah.
I love it that Kaleb, he's big brother. He was the beast mode cowboy. He's really manly. He's in the army, veteran, and just saying, he's not a homophobe. He doesn't care. It's cool.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
It does work. And it's funny
Yeah,
because
it works for him.
the girls are just watching, and it's
Laughing.
like pure hilarity to all of them. They're just watching it in action.
For this tribe, though, or for this group, the beauties, I mean, these guys are pretty. I mean, Ty, I've heard some comments Tyson built well, but I think he's built pretty well. But in essence, these guys got brawn as well. The beauty tribe has got strength.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like Kaleb is he's very strong. I mean, a lot of them are all very strong. We have Nick.
Well, that guy's got 3 trunk legs. Have you seen his legs?
Yeah,
Have you
massive.
seen his legs?
And the girls
haven't seen
the girls seem like good too. I mean, we haven't seen too much of them because they obviously haven't lost yet. But
Yeah. But so far they're doing very well.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
And they're the most exciting to watch. I mean,
Yeah.
Ty by himself. He's been through 2 episodes. My MVP of the show.
Oh, MVP. You think he's gonna make it pretty far?
Oh, absolutely.
Let me call this out for you guys. From Johnny Horseman, he said, "I feel like Kaleb experiences with Frankie and Ty have made him less homophobic. It's interesting to watch." Now, Frankie is I forget her name, but she's a very big star's brother. But he was a gay guy in the Big Brother, and they were
okay.
very close.
See, I never watched Big Brother, but that's right.
I saw
Kaleb
the
was
whole
on
season
it.
with him. Yeah.
Okay.
And so they were very close, and Johnny obviously thinks that might have helped him get along with Ty as well. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's a really good point.
I think any experiences prior to Survivor may have helped him, so that's a good point. Absolutely.
Yeah, because they know how to like work in a team. You know, they have to put up these people, but it does seem like he really likes him. But I do like the fact that he had like a fish in his mouth or whatever, and he went to go kiss him. And he was like, "I don't even know why I did that. I literally just did it
But
to
he
shock
went for
him."
it.
But he went
I
for
love
it, and
it.
he's like, "I went for that kiss."
Hashtag
oh, and he
stolen
does
kiss.
have a boyfriend at home,
He
so
does.
might get
Well, you got to
mad.
make your alliances though. So hey,
Yeah,
whatever you have to do, it's $1 million.
Right.
So.
He's obviously a good guy. Okay, so we'll move on to the Brain Tribe, what we saw from them. So first of all, we get in, they're kind of fighting over boiling water and, you know, getting parasites. And it just kind of seemed like a little bit of a train wreck. Kind of like everybody seems like they know more than the other person that knows more than the other person. What do you guys think?
Led by Debbie, who again, she said that she judges water by looking at it.
20 years experience. 20 years experience.
Also, she has an immune system like a horse.
What is...
I don't know what that means. And finally, one other thing I didn't understand. She said that women with boobs should not be running.
They can't run.
So does that mean no women should be running, or what's the rule on that?
Well,
So,
maybe.
yeah, so
don't-
I can't run. So Debbie doesn't run. Like, she has boobs, does she not?
I didn't
Well,
understand.
Makes
Apparently
no
not.
sense.
It didn't make any sense.
The thing about her is she's everything.
Yeah.
She's a pilot. Oh no, a captain. She's the chemist. She's been working with water for 20 years.
Water.
She grew up around all animals. You know, just
Debbie
what you said,
is everything.
but she doesn't do anything.
Debbie is everything to me.
She talks. She's a very chattery.
Yeah. She's the ringleader for sure.
I mean, she
Well,
sat.
she did sit out though.
She sit out,
Yeah.
and the entire time
So
she
that's
was,
a good job.
Well, the entire
cheering.
time, though, she still had to make herself known.
Clearly.
Yelling. Yeah, I get it. You have to cheer on your teammates, but chill out.
And what do we think about Joe? I mean, Joe seems to be aligning with Debbie.
Right. So, okay. So we'll kind of get into the Debbie Joe thing here. So we saw in the first episode that they were, you know, kind of aligning right at the beginning. They're both the older people, and everybody thinks that they should be the first ones voted out. Then we see this whole fiasco with Joe using too much kerosene and spilling the rest of it, except for a little bit.
Right.
So everybody's already mad at him. So I was thinking, if the Brains lose, Joe's going home. What do you guys think about like where Joe stands with the tribe?
I think that's ridiculous.
That Joe's
Real
going to
quick.
go home, or
I think it's ridiculous that they would actually send him out. I
Yeah.
think I don't think they would send Debbie home for sure. Nobody can stand her.
Mm-hmm.
I can stand her. I watched this video with you guys. You guys can stand her. So I think she would
can
go
you
home.
guys stand her? Let us know.
Let us know. Live chat. I want to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I could stand her maybe for another episode or two.
Oh.
We'll see. But I think that Joe might be making a mistake by aligning just with Debbie. It seemed like he could align with a couple people and he's, you know, aligning with Debbie, maybe not the smartest move.
And it seems like he's not really trying to align with the
anyone
others,
else. No,
which is
no.
weird.
Right.
He's hurting his game for sure.
Seems like a
He's putting himself to the
it's
side.
a questionable move because Debbie's polarizing and he's aligning with the polarization, which
Yeah, I agree. And Joe seems to be he put too much kerosene on the fire, but he's a strong player. He seems like, you know, he was a former FBI agent. He knows his way around. Like he's strong. He's mentally strong.
Former Navy.
Yeah,
Yep.
like he seems like he's someone that I would want on my side.
Yep.
So I hope that
And this
he
guy
doesn't
seem-
meet his demise too early. He's jacked.
I wish I looked like him.
He is jacked. And he's,
for
how old
his
is he
age,
again?
71?
71.
71.
71.
And
72.
72,
Yeah.
and this is the oldest player on AfterBuzz on Survivor.
Survivor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
And also, let's take note, he did say in this episode, he made it clear he doesn't like Liz.
Yeah.
So that's setting up as some type of confrontation.
Yeah.
And then, again, Liz was freaking out. She's getting very emotional. So that's
Yeah, so we got into that again. So we saw last episode that Aubrey was getting pretty emotional, and then we saw in this episode that Liz is getting very emotional. Yeah, it's physically draining, but it has been 6 days. Like, how do you expect that you're going to make it to the last day if
39.
you literally can't make it through 6 days?
Yeah.
For sure.
And it didn't seem like anything crazy has been happening
Yeah.
to really make them be this emotional this early.
Exactly.
This tribe's got issues.
Yeah.
That's got issues, for sure.
I agree. And
emotional, yeah.
Yeah, and they just seem kind of like I said before, you know, how everyone thinks that they know more than the others because they're the brainiacs. It just seems like it could be a problem.
Right.
And they also, like, aren't physically strong. Well, Peter is, but it doesn't seem like, and Joe, but, you know, it doesn't seem like they're as physically strong, and they can't obviously withstand their surroundings, which is a little, it worries me.
Speaking of Peter, I like the point where he said, does Debbie have 30 cats or 40 cats at home?
40.
Yeah.
40.
How many? How many cats does she have?
Also, we'll get to it later at Immunity when he's slingshotting, falling off. That's interesting.
Yeah,
weird.
That's a little interesting point.
Weird, yeah.
And also, I love how Peter was just kind of like egging Debbie on. Like, he's like, yeah, you know, you seem like you have real great hand-eye coordination. Like, let's keep talking about how great you are. Like, he was just egging her on, and I loved it.
Subtle jabs. Let's go.
Yeah, subtle jabs. It's crazy. So yeah, that's kind of like how our tribes went at the beginning: Brain versus Brawn versus Beauty. So then we move into the immunity challenge, immunity and reward. So the first team that wins gets a survivor fishing kit, and they get a boat to go out on the survivor fishing kit and, you know, catch some fish, make some meals. Number 2 gets a smaller fishing kit, but it's still something. And number 3 obviously gets zip. So we see that Julia and Debbie sit out because we have one person that needs to, or 2 people that need to sit out because someone got sent home last week. And so what did you guys think about the immunity challenge?
It was an interesting one, and I want to just touch on that fact that you said that Julia and Debbie sat out, and we spoke about this last week in week 1, that we thought maybe getting rid of Darnell was a mistake also because of future challenges and the strength, and that's why they should have gotten rid of Alicia. And you notice that the other teams had women sit down. It could have been like Darnell's, his strength could have played into this immunity challenge.
Yeah.
It could have been a big point. So again,
Yeah.
carrying that log that was 300 pounds through the water. Not that, you know, women aren't strong, but you could see based on that was a real play.
What did you guys think of Alicia's, what she did in the challenge? Did you guys see anything in particular with her that she did or didn't do anything?
She was going, but
trying.
Even though she's trying, she's not physically contributing to that challenge. The log is 300 pounds.
Yeah.
It's a very, very intensive, you know,
How much can you really hold on your shoulder? You know, like you're probably just kind of walking
she's
along.
not even reaching the log.
Yeah.
The other guy, you know, she's
too short.
short, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Disappointed.
Yeah, and so Brain was falling behind from the beginning.
Right.
So I automatically thought they were going to be losing and that Joe would probably go home. But then we see them pull through. Beauty's, you know, their string gets tangled. They have to go back and, you know, they kind of catch up there. And then Beauty ends up getting immunity. Brain gets second, and Braun goes to tribal.
Right. It looked like for Beauty that Kaleb at the start, he got out really fast for them, right? And then he finished it off by hitting with the slingshot, getting them the top billing. And then, again, for Brain, Peter did a good job to, you know, slingshot, fall off, and get it before Scott did. And so I guess, you know, if you're going to choose one player on Braun that maybe was the worst in this challenge, you'd have to say, I guess, Scott, because he was missing.
Right.
He could have saved them.
Exactly. And he said that when they got back to camp. He was like, it was my fault. And they were like, well, I'm not going to chalk it all up to that. Right. But yeah, they were literally falling off when they were doing the slingshots. I was like, can you see where you're aiming? Or
was he just really hot?
He was just trying to get it back as fast as possible. Not a good technique, I think.
Yeah. And so
Work
on your technique, Peter.
Yeah, come on. I mean, don't you just do this on the weekend for fun? So after tribal, you know, or after the immunity challenge, we go back to camp, and we talked about this as we were watching the show. We were like, it would just be too easy for them to vote Alicia off. Like, it would just be too easy. I don't think it's going to happen.
Episode.
Especially when Alicia was so obvious with, like, I'm going to go look for the immunity right now, guys. I got to go take a walk.
I guess she had nothing to lose, though.
Right. So she just made it obvious.
Like, all right.
Go for a walk, guys.
Yeah.
But they didn't even discuss, maybe having a backup plan in case Alicia had an idol. Like, they literally just didn't even think she would find it. Like, they had no faith. She didn't find it. But they said, right, when she went to go look for it, they were like, she's just too dumb. She's literally an ostrich. She's useless. She's not going to find it.
Love it.
So, I don't know. Do you guys think that they're being a little harsh? Or
No, I think they're absolutely right. For sure. Like,
she does not like Alicia
No,
at
I don't
all.
like Alicia. That's my POV, my point of view. I think, but one thing I wanted to ask you guys, you can help me. Jason called her a ditz.
A ditz?
What's a ditz?
Like you're ditzy.
Someone kind of
You're just
a little bit
stupid.
aloof, missing things, like how she called an ember an embryo. Just
Okay,
not
yeah.
aware
Definitely
of
a
things
ditz.
like that.
she's
Yeah.
definitely a ditz.
Even Jenny said when they were gonna create a new alliance, she said right to her face, you're kind of like, there. She told her right to her face.
Don't like you.
But-
Yeah, in the live chat, someone's commenting, Alicia's has a terrible physical performer, but she is amazing TV. So I think that's true. That's maybe, a reason to keep her around is like she brings a little bit of drama and a little bit of spice.
Also, because if you're not the strongest player, there is an advantage to bringing them with you.
Because they're going to be the GOAT, and you
which
can just...
you think that like you can get farther and then, get rid of your dead weight.
Right.
But at one point, if they do keep her around and Cindy is smart enough, there's going to be, either they're going to have to team up at some point if they want to get these guys out, because these guys are going to stick to the end. I can see it right now.
Yeah.
They're going to be together till the end.
I think that this tribe, the Braun tribe, is in trouble. All of them.
Yeah.
For all of
It's
just
bad.
continuously going home. It looks like they can't do anything
it's
as a
bad.
team.
And they physically look real bad. These guys they look like they went through hell. It's
Yeah.
only been 5 or 6 days at
and
this
What
point.
happened?
And they're the Braun tribe.
Yeah, Joseph
these
Boza...
guys are weak right now.
How
Yeah.
are they the Braun tribe?
Wait.
Because they look the weakest and they've lost.
Beauty should be Braun. Like, they're
It's
brawny
oh my
and beautiful.
goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joseph Boza is saying that Alicia brings the looks, let's be honest. The boys love being lazy to look at the blonde woman. But they all think that she's stupid. She's a good-looking person, but they think that she's too ditzy. And they're also saying that, like, she should... A lot of people in the live chat, online, in different articles, they think that Alicia should be on the beauty tribe, which is true. I don't understand why she's placed in Braun.
Well, the thing that she says is she's done this. She's skydived here, and she's bungee jumped there, and she's been with untamed tigers. So what?
Untamed tigers. I've been skydiving. I don't belong in the Braun
exactly.
tribe. Like,
There's so many people that do it, but they say that she's been around brawn people her whole life. So maybe that concept of being around those guys gives her an edge or something, but it doesn't.
being
She's
around
not-
them, though, doesn't
doesn't
help you
make
get
you
physically
brawn.
better.
Honestly, it looks like Alicia isn't really playing. She doesn't have a strategy in
No.
her head, really. She's just kind of going day by day. And
Which is strange because normally when you come into Survivor, you're automatically already thinking these things. You've had so many chances to watch and see what other people do, and it doesn't seem like she has any type of idea.
no, it doesn't. So I think it's going to catch up with her.
But I don't know. I feel like I can see
Oh, goodness.
maybe not because they're probably going to lose another challenge, but I could see Alicia literally being like an Abby Maria, those of you that watched last season, and just going so far because people want to take them to the end.
It's possible, absolutely, because especially with her being so close to going home
Every time.
at the start of the season, it could be where she makes it a while. But I think if it's not soon, I think she's gonna.
Yeah.
I would just like to light up the fact that smile she gave once Jennifer was already voted out. I know we're going to get to that.
He
but
hated it.
That smile was I despised it. I did not like it at all. It was just,
Yeah. Okay, so we see Johnny in the live chat saying that she's from a family of boxers, so she's there because of her lineage.
She's not a boxer though.
No,
Hopefully not.
but she comes from a family of boxers, so apparently that puts her in the Bronx.
Puts her in the brown, okay.
All right, well, that's that. So we get to, we kind of think it's a clear-cut vote that Alicia's going out.
Right.
Everybody's agreed, okay? And then all of a sudden, Jennifer's like, Jason's starting to piss me off a little bit. We could do an all-girls alliance. What happened there?
Well, what you said basically is that Jenny just decided she wanted to create maybe a new alliance. Possibly, she's not sure.
So are we all in agreement is that a word?
Agreement.
Are we all in agreement? Sorry. Now I'm sounding like Alicia, like Embryo. Okay. Are we all in agreement that Jen went up to Alicia first? Or do you guys think that
No.
Alicia went up to Jen first?
I feel Alicia went up to her.
Out of nowhere?
Well,
No,
the way
did I
they
miss
showed
that?
it, they showed Jen talking to Jason, getting upset with, he's really stupid, he's getting
Yeah.
on my nerves. So then she thinks maybe I can create this all-girls alliance. She talks to Alicia. I mean,
I
who
wonder
knows
how-
camera angle-wise how it is, but
Yeah.
we just see them talking about, hey, maybe we're going to do this instead, and then Sydney walks up.
I wonder how much of it was, like you said, like the camera, them putting it in later, something that didn't happen, like putting it in later to make it look like it. But from what it seemed like to me was that, like you said, she got annoyed with Jason. She went up to Alicia.
From what we saw, and we'll get to Tribal Council, but from my opinion, I think that Jenny was sick of Jason just because he was talking and maybe he was just being lazy, she said, and he was getting on her nerves. That gave her enough power to say, I'm going to go to the girls and try to create a girls thing just to get rid of this annoying guy. Because it seems like she reacts quickly.
Yeah. And she did admit that. She said, I like go after shiny things.
It just happened quickly. She went in with this whole new plan, and that proceeds to then, as we see.
But it's not very smart.
It wasn't. It was one of the not smart moves you could ever
The
possibly
worst move I've ever seen.
Because before going to Tribal Council, I would have imagined that Jenny was going to get 0 votes.
0.
Of course.
Absolutely.
She's
0
strong. Votes. She's physically.
She's got heart.
Physically,
she's got
mentally
a good backstory.
fit.
She battled the bug in her ear.
She battled the ear bug.
She went from like really all-star in episode 1 to...
Yeah. So people are in agreement in the live chat that Jen did go up to Alicia. So
yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
And so then we see, in Tribal that Jen's saying, I didn't do this. I didn't go up to her. And Alicia, Jen's getting very defensive, very upset, kind of like, freaked out. And Alicia's like, man, she came up to me, like not getting upset at all. So that's what tells me that, Jen was obviously at fault because Alicia's not getting upset. She's like, you know what, whatever. Like, I'm going to tell the truth.
Right. And let's just say, I want to say this. I haven't watched every season of Survivor, but that was one of the all-time sabotage jobs that anybody can possibly do
to themselves.
Yeah.
To themselves.
Boom. And maybe the only way we can explain it is that the bug got to her. Right? Maybe that bug really got to her.
Laid
It's
little babies
just
in the ear.
sad for Jen.
I don't know how you could possibly explain what she did. She made a
If she kept it all together, she's got heart. She's got a good story. She could have gone so far in this game. She's a favorite. She came from from down to build herself up to where she's successful at life now. And then it's sad.
Yeah. So when we're still at camp too, she kind of says that. I was thinking about blindsiding Jason, but then I realized that blindsiding Jason is also blindsiding Scott. So then she went back and flipped. She went back to Sydney and said, hey, sorry, I don't mean to flip like this, but I think that we should go the original route. And then she goes into Tribal and everything's fine. And then she starts saying, it was a little wishy-washy at camp. And this gets Scott and... Jason thinking, what do you mean? What do you mean it was wishy-washy? Nobody thought it was wishy-washy. She could have pulled this off by, doing that in camp, saying whatever she needed to say, but then going to Tribal and not saying a word.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tribal Council is the one place, if you're going to have a strategy and you're going to be playing the game, this would be the time.
Yeah.
When this is the chopping block, this is the time where you don't make a huge mess. Like, that was kamikaze.
Why did she say that?
I mean, she got it, so she gets into it so she turned to everybody...
She was
against her in
honest.
a minute.
She was honest, though.
Yeah.
Jeff.
No, she wasn't honest because she said that Alicia was the one coming up to her.
When Jeff asked her the question.
Yeah.
So you guys can have a 3-girl alliance. She could have said nothing. I feel like she has to tell the truth or something.
Yeah.
And this is the week of the Oscars. She deserves an Oscar for that performance because that was incredible.
Yeah. So she just... I love, too, how Jason was like, nobody goes in Tribal saying, hey, to my alliance, I'm considering a flip, but I'll get back to you guys,
Right.
And it's all good.
Jason and Scott are 2 of the most real people I've ever seen. Like we saw last week with the Darnell situation. They said whatever was on their mind right there. They don't mess around.
Yeah, they're straightforward.
So straightforward, and that's what I really like about them. So... Definitely. I don't know.
What I would definitely take from this tribe in general is that there's clearly chaos with the tribe. I mean, and Alicia is still around, so give her credit that she made it through 2 episodes where it was like you are dead, you are the target is on you, and she's made it. So she deserves credit for somehow actually sticking through those 2 tribal councils to make it. But if they can't win if they can't stay away from tribal council and at least come in second in an immunity challenge,
there's not gonna be anybody left.
It's just gonna right.
Yeah. So then, how is the tribe even going to survive?
I would say right now that I would think that there's no chance that anybody on this tribe can win Survivor except for Sydney. Is my take at this point early.
I don't think that Jason and Scott will get that far. I think Alicia has potential, I think Sydney has potential to be in the top 3.
Easy.
Yeah.
Sydney is it's like she's just stuck with the wrong tribe.
Yeah.
It's like
and she's so loyal too. She's like, I don't even know what these people are doing.
Yeah, you could tell she
Down to earth.
She just is like, what is going on? How am I with these crew?
And her arms are just massive.
Well, she is the 9th strongest woman.
9th strongest, yeah. She is.
It's crazy.
So yeah, I mean, that's one of the craziest tribals we've ever seen. And it does go to show that it can flip in an instant.
In an instant.
So our final votes, Scott voted Alicia and Jen voted Alicia. So we obviously knew Jen was going to vote Alicia, but so that means that
Jason,
Sydney and Jason swapped just because of tribal.
Well, at least Jason.
Well, because she also did point out, he was like, so who was going to be on the chopping block then? Who was going to go home if they did do an Augur's Lines? And, Alicia just threw her under the bus. She's like, she said that you were going to go home, Jason. And he was like, oh, okay. So then that's why he voted for Jen eventually, too.
That is actually a really smart play from Alicia. Just,
Yeah.
She
had this. I mean, Alicia knew at least that she had to stir it up and do something.
But she didn't even try to stir it up in the first place.
No.
Jen did that on her own.
I think Steven Souza here says that he thinks that Jason can win. The problem with that, Jason, is that with Jason is he's a physical threat. So as soon as those guys collide or merge, he's done.
And you could tell that Jason has good tactics. He's good working the game, and he has a partner. But at some point, when you come in the merge and they're down people, he might not have anyone, and it's gonna be just tough. To me, I'm going to say early in the game already that I'm eliminating everyone from this tribe to win except for Sydney.
Yeah.
She's the only one I think that can actually win the whole game.
Yeah, we also see in the live chat, Jason's aggressive gameplay could turn off the jury and lose in the whole game.
I mean, yeah, it's a delicate balance. You got to play the game. He's playing the game, but at the end of the day, all of them are playing the game. They got to win a challenge, or at least not lose, because they can't keep going, because at some point, Jason and Scott are going to have to turn on each other. If they keep, so
I'm really curious to see if they can pull it off next week with 2 people down.
Right.
And nobody else has 1 down, so. Well, any last thoughts on that before we get into predictions?
I mean, it's going to be tough to see another tribal council
as with them there,
as crazy as the way that went down. I want to go back and just watch it again because it was so shocking.
It's just like, honestly, nothing, like we said, it can't be that easy. Alicia's not going home. And it should have been that easy, and it's never that easy. That's why Survivor stresses me out so much, but I still love it.
And that's why it's a great show.
One thing that is a great show. One thing that what really is going to count against the Brawn again is the fact that those fishing, stuff they have, those guys are going to have food. These guys are already talking about how they don't have energy, they don't feeling weak. These are big guys. They need to eat.
Jason's sunburn. That's gonna take a toll.
It takes your energy, it takes it away. So the problem there is, come next week, come the challenge. If it's a physical challenge again, these guys are already down a notch just because of that reason.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's why the more they keep losing, it's like a spiraling out of control.
They can't get anything out of the rewards.
Right.
That's a great point. All right. Well, let us know what you guys think on the live chat. Let us know, and also comment on #ABTV Survivor.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to get into our predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Did you guys see that?
Freaky. I don't know.
What's going on?
What's going on?
Is earthquake?
it's some ghosts, paranormal activity. Anyways, what do you guys think is going to happen? Any initial thoughts? Thoughts?
I would say, I did say that I don't think anybody from the Brawn tribe can win outside of Sydney, and that is just the actual winner of Survivor. But I would also say a prediction for next week in week 3, that the Kaleb and Ty fishing adventure is going to be amazing to watch. Because now we get to see Kaleb and Ty's budding bromance to go to the open seas. They've got a boat, fishing.
I'm just kind of
in the tidy whities.
Yeah,
on the stripy whities.
And Kaleb in his jeans with the belt buckle.
Listen, the belt buckle. Beast mode cowboy. That's BMC. It's
BMC,
pretty rad.
Yeah. So we got our beast mode cowboy there.
Yep.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to me because I feel like I don't even know the other players aside from the Brawn tribe. So I feel like I can't even predict if someone will go home from Brains or Beauty, who it would be.
Brains, I think it would be Debbie.
I think it would be Joe.
One thing I need to bring to the light real quick is last week Daryl lost the goggles, all right? But in the Brains tribe, Neil admitted that he also lost the goggles.
I did read that.
And then Aubrey, which was so weak, was the only one that dived in without any goggles and got the last two.
That is such
things.
a good point. And I
Right?
wanted to actually bring that up, and I'm glad you did. Because, so Neil also lost the goggles,
Yep.
but we didn't see this happen.
Right.
We only saw the Darnell thing, and Darnell lost them first. Aubrey went in, and she got everything. So, yeah, you never know. It's crazy. I mean,
Just saying, so for the Brains, it might be him.
The things that you don't
Neil.
show.
Yep.
Yeah, it could be Neil, yeah. The ice cream entrepreneur.
Organic ice cream.
Organic.
Yep.
So I don't know.
I think it's gonna be someone from Braun. I just don't see them.
I don't see them winning. But I feel like they can't lose to the
Well,
Braves
hold
in a
on.
It
row.
seems like they can't, but they
can.
They look really bad. Like,
Yeah.
They are weak, but the thing is, it depends on the challenge. If it's
It does.
eat something gross, if it's a mental challenge, if it's a,
It does.
Right.
It always and
Yeah, it could be like a bug
the
eating
show's
challenge.
gonna throw us a
it always
curveball.
throws you
hopefully.
curveballs. Exactly. So
Yeah, so hopefully it won't be the Braun again, but we shall see.
one last thing
Yeah.
you can definitely say about Brains. Debbie is probably going to get under your skin next episode. I think.
But she's not
I mean,
already.
that's something that you can kind of
Ev-
predict that's going to happen every episode.
Debbie.
Debbie, we don't know. I mean, she's crazy.
Hey.
But, all right, well, that's that. Thanks so much for joining us, guys, and make sure you tune in next week for AfterBuzz TV Survivor. It'll be episode 3, and we can't wait to see what happens and who goes home. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Paige Bonanno. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Paige Bonanno. Make sure to follow us on YouTube, like, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts.
And I'm Michael Rippey, and you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Mike Rips.
My name is Jaco Winnings. You guys can follow me all over social media at Jaco Winnings.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
See you next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.